Yeah. Do you want to do that next week?
Do that, but also make it also for the student. Whatever the other one is that I'm now on.
Yeah.
So I won't always have messaging from them, but now that I'm on, it's like
it's good to have. Like,
we will probably have some.
We could just health promotion.
Yeah.
Health promotions as like a report.
Sounds good.
Hey. All right. All right, everybody. I think we're going to get started here. We have our speaker just arrived. Help yourself to some pizza. In the meantime, we're going to call this meeting to order. And this is Monday, October 23rd. We have a very special guest speaker. We're just going to turn it over to you right away. This is the Chancellor for the CU Anschutz campus, Don Ellerman. So let's give him a round of applause and welcome.
So I'm really here for you. I mean, my number one goal tonight would be to address any issues that you all saw that you wanted me to talk about. And I'll come back anytime any of you, especially Cody, ask me to. I mean, you're why we're here in many respects. We do have three missions on this campus: clinical care, research, and education. But we wouldn't be here if we weren't here principally to train the workforce of the future for healthcare in this region and beyond. So you are the kind of anchor. You represent the anchor of our purpose here, and therefore, in some respects, my belief is that I serve you more than the other way around. So I do want to make sure that we cover any subjects that you have any interest in. And I mean anything. I don't mind softball questions, but if somebody wants to fling a hard ball at my chin, I'm more than happy to try and take it on. You know, I spoke to the campus last week and tried to address some areas of strategic focus that are kind of evolving over time, but they're pretty consistent. We pay for a lot of things around here, frankly, by clinical care. I mean, that's kind of the economic backbone of how we make this place work. And so I think it's imperative that we keep our eye on that ball and try to continue to improve in both the quantity, but more importantly, the quality of the care that we deliver, not only in our affiliate hospitals, but beyond. And so far, under the leadership of a lot of different people, because CU Medicine is the biggest piece of that, what used to be called UPI, but we're now seeing growth in clinical operations in the College of Nursing, in dentistry, and even in pharmacy, and so and then performing outreach services in public health as well. So really, basically, in all of our core educational institutions. That sort of footprint in the community, actually delivering service, is a big deal, and I think it needs to be a continued focal point of ours. The quality of this campus will, in many respects, be defined by how we are viewed in that arena. The research enterprise is immediately next to that, certainly in revenue terms. We had a $490 million grant portfolio, or we received $490 million in grants last year, which was up 8% over the year prior. And in this environment, anybody who can say their research enterprise is increasing is actually a pretty good statement. The NIH for us, the National Institutes of Health, are the most important single component of that, but we've also spent a lot of time and energy trying to make ourselves more easier to do business with for industry partners as well, because and we've basically blown up what used to be tech transfer to make that happen. So those two streams are doing well. We're we are facing, as you are, as future healthcare workforce members, the challenge of uncertainty of what's going on what's going to happen in Washington. And none of us know what's going to happen in Washington. It's not likely to be good, to be perfectly blunt. The original presidential budget called for an 18% cut in National Institutes of Health funding. The worst part, actually, frankly, for us, was that we keep the lights on and pay debt on our buildings through what's called ICR, indirect cost recovery, sometimes referred to as F&A. And our current rate for a federal grant is 55%, which means if we get a $1 million grant for direct costs, on top of that, we get a check for $550,000 to basically help pay debt and keep the lights on. And they were proposing cutting that to 10%. And that would have shut down academic medical research in this country, not just here, but virtually everywhere. So keeping our eye on that ball and trying to figure out what the hell's going to happen in D.C. it's a blood sport for us, and we're not, we skated through the initial part of that with in Congress. Congressman Kaufman, who was the congressman for this district, had a great line. Somebody said, we're scared to death by what President Trump has proposed, and Mike Kaufman, who's a Republican, said, we didn't listen to what Obama wanted in his budget. Why the hell would you think we'd listen to what Trump wants? So we're hopeful that saner heads will prevail, and the NIH, which gets broad political support, bipartisan support, will continue to be well funded, and that our ICR levels will be protected. On the education front, I feel that we have a compelling need to increase the quantity of our education of the healthcare workforce. That's not going to happen in medicine. John Riley, the dean, feels very strongly, and I agree with him, that the current size of the medical school at 184 in an entry class is about as big as we want to get. But I think in some of our other schools, particularly nursing, I would tell you, I think we need to increase the output of our college. We've got a very high quality student body in all of our schools, and in nursing, to the extent that we can increase the output of not only RN, but AP, advanced practice nursing, the community or the society desperately needs it, and I think we have a role to play in that. So, and I'm not sure how that fits in pharmacy and dentistry, but I think we have an obligation to try and meet the need of the healthcare workforce in the region, and we need to make sure that we're doing everything we can to fulfill it. I will say on the education front that one fairly significant success we've had is in diversity. The School of Dentistry, which has, pardon the expression, forever been literally lily white, this year really made a huge leap forward, both in terms of admitting students of color, but also females, and dentistry has historically been a male-dominated profession. Medicine started that track down that track 4 or 5 years ago, and they continue to do that, and I think that's an imperative for us in all of our schools and colleges. So, the picture here today, I think, is strong, and I said that with the caveat that we are all beholden to some level to what's going to come out of Congress and the executive branch in Washington. But I feel that we have an enormous opportunity map for this campus. I think that we've had remarkable growth. If you look at the 10-year trajectory of this campus, we actually made a presentation to the Marcus Family Foundation for the grant that ended up being $38 million to stand up a TBI program for vets, and successful grant. And in the presentation, we showed them a chart that showed our 10-year trajectory on this campus in terms of clinical visits, philanthropy, research dollars, and a couple other parameters. And one of the members of the audience, or of the foundation, had been the ex-president of Tulane. He'd stepped down the year before as the president of Tulane. And he came up to me afterwards and he said, I don't think there's another academic medical center in the United States that could show a graph like the one or show the statistics like the one you just showed. So we've been on a hell of a roll, and our goal is to try and continue it. This is a great place. We're thrilled to have the quality of student body that we have. We're thrilled to have the quality of the faculty that we have. We have our problems, we have our challenges, but we've been going in pretty good stead, and our goal, and I promise you we will do everything we can. I will do everything I can to see it continue. So with that, I'm going to throw it over to you and see if you have any questions. This is what usually happens, stunned silence. Yeah.
So I have a question. I know you gave your statement of the campus address last week.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us a little bit about your vision for some of your goals for the clinical side of this campus in terms of like what you want us to, what are you hoping this campus becomes in the future?
Well, the way we describe it is we want to be a medical destination on the par with any other medical destination. I mean, I'm fond of saying we want to be a place where nobody from the Rocky Mountain West has to go any further than this campus to get the finest medical care in the world. It's not practical, really, to say that about all. I mean, you're never going to have that for the broad spectrum, but we can be near the top in most, and at the top in a few. I mean, we're spending a fortune on building our personalized medicine portfolio, led by Kathleen Barnes. Others got there before us, but for a variety of reasons, we think we can leapfrog most of them. We are spending a lot of money on mental health, which is not a very good business, I have to tell you. I mean, most academic medical centers have kind of underweighted their investment in mental health because reimbursements are lousy and frankly because the model is busted. One doc, one patient, 1 hour isn't going to solve the mental health problems in this country. It's just not scalable. And so we're spending a fair amount of time trying to figure out if there's a better way to spring that mousetrap. But I would love to see us be ranked in the top 5 in a number of the more obvious specialties: cancer, cardiology, orthopedics. I mean, our trajectory suggests that we can get either there or close to that, and that's really what I have envisioned. You can't do it without the research enterprise following that way, and if we do both of those, then the quality of our student body is going to continue to increase and improve over that same period of time, because you all want to be standing right next to the people who are actually changing the world. And that's the best part about my job. People say, you like your job? I say, I love it. And they, why? Well, I'm surrounded by 4,900 faculty who are trying to change the world. And many or most of whom could find better compensation somewhere else. But they're here because they believe they can make a difference. And that's the most energizing, kind of invigorating thing I can possibly imagine. Yeah.
First, thank you for the talk. It's really appreciate you, John. I'm actually in the anesthesiologist assistant school. So you spoke earlier about pretty much saying you grow in your med school and idea of the MD program as much as you guys feel like it's early right now, and that you really want to spend more towards nursing and see some mid levels.
Thank you for bringing that up, because I overlooked something. No, I'd like to see the PA program grow. I'd like to see a lot of we're looking at possibly, we don't have occupational therapy here now. Well, we're thinking about that possibility. We've actually asked Sarah Thompson, who stepped down as the Dean of Nursing, to lead an effort to look at how we can expand areas either that do exist that we have now or that we don't have now in I would actually call it, for lack of a better term, upper mid-level medical providers. So it's not unlike psychiatry. We're not going to be able to solve everything with physicians, and we need to prepare people to practice at the highest possible level of their licensure, and we need to augment the labor force. I mean, I represent the biggest problem that's about to face healthcare, which is the leading edge of the baby boomers, people who are my age, who are going to need a hell of a lot of what you all do, and we're going to need more of it. So we are looking below the level of MD at trying to expand into areas that some of which, and we have a great PA program now, but I think it's 44 people, or it's either 40 or 44 in an entry class. We have 1,500 applicants for 44 places. We should find a way to expand that and other areas as well. So thank you for that question. Anybody else? I do this to audiences. I bore people to tears. Yeah.
So maybe switching from Cody's kind of clinical gear to more towards the education gear. Are there maybe other schools in Colorado or elsewhere that are doing something in education that we need to do, or really doing something well that you've seen?
In some respects, I mean, yes, there are other nursing schools in Colorado. There's one other pharmacy school, I think. We're it for public health. It's a combination with CSU and UNC, and that actually is a great idea. And it speaks a little bit to what you asked. I think we should be willing to partner with other institutions. I mean, and I don't mean just publics. I mean, we're sort of flirting with talking with DU about doing some joint programs with them. I think there's stuff that we probably could be doing with both downtown and Boulder that we're not doing now. We have joint programs with UC Denver. Public health's got a fairly, and bioengineering both have fairly active programs on the downtown campus. So I think maybe more in the area of partnership. I don't think there's anybody doing anything in health education that I'm aware of in the state that I would emulate. But working more with community colleges in areas where they kind of prepare people up to a certain point, and then we take over. That's a possibility. I think we need to explore all of that. I mean, the demand for the healthcare workforce is exploding. And we need to be open to any idea we can think of as to how we play a role in that, and not for our own sake, for the sake of the society that we serve. I mean, it's pretty simple. So, well, thank you for your time and attention. And are we in exams? Are we out of exams? Are we? No,
We're always in exams.
We're always life is an exam. Yeah, that's the way I feel too. So. Thanks very much, and anytime you want me to come back, I'm at your service. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much. Well, that was great. Thanks to Chancellor Elliman for taking time to come speak to you guys. He did have his state of the campus address. I think that was a blast. You can see a little bit more in detail about some of the items, the vision he has for the campus. I think he did a great job elucidating that today. So with that, we will break out into committee sessions. So get with your committees if you want to raise your hand, VPs, and show where you guys are. So we'll break out into committee sessions now. All right. And let's sit over here. Yeah.
Should we just steal one from the?
then Friday
I can check it.
But yeah, so we
Take home.
and actually did the whole
And then
no. Sorry, I switched to 12.
Yeah, you can tell earlier, so I'm gonna be there. I have until 2. Nobody's coming by. Okay. And I mean, if you're gonna do that, that sounds wonderful. Okay. I mean, whatever works for you. Yeah, so, and then if we have multiple people, I was also just basically stand out there. You guys like free food? Like if I'm there, I will do that.
It looks salty, but it's not trustworthy. And then on it also will give you step by step how to start. After you feel like
So I don't. So assuming we don't all just have access to that, should I go ask? Should I go ask? Okay, yeah, like.
Yeah, that's what
We've got money. We've got more money than we spent. I don't know about that. I don't know because I also did that. I don't know about that. Dude, the flyer's awesome. So I shot, or the flyers have been shot out to leads. What I'm gonna do on my Facebook, I'll probably like I'm not gonna do it on my Facebook. I'll just post it in area. So that's like a smile. So because we were talking about if we post it to yeah, we post it. Okay. Okay. Let me send it up. I'll tell you guys, or do you guys have that? Okay. So if you just do that.
I know. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's on the Facebook. Not that anybody really gets checks it. So I can do that. Maybe I'll do that. I'll share it from the students. So other than that, okay, so we've got electives here on Wednesday. If you need that coming in the shed, we have other Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, whenever we're gonna make it more accessible.
I think we need to.
They like stand up, like, and it's like, yeah. Okay, so you're gonna make a flyer. I think it's, don't they have like a backboard? Okay, so since they have a backboard, that's what happens.
That's why we do
Wrapping paper.
And then we can put like our signs.
It might be us, but so the comment box is for the people who. Like now, like where you're good, but we do have questions. So. And then I do need to follow up with you on. Okay. You want to just chat up today? I like that system. So normally I would say
Okay.
So like so another reason why we might leave early is because we run late. So we're gonna get a little bit but it's not. Yeah, that would be great. So yeah, we're mostly gonna also do just basically there's already like something. So Will has our flyer.
Last year we did it
Pretty much just stuff. They don't already have like we almost had to. I actually still have 2 reservations. I have both the bridge and yeah. There's like that will give us and they thought it might yeah. We were gonna move. It was gonna be fun. Yeah, I mean, it won't matter that much because we're gonna be outside. But we're just gonna.
If you're walking
So let's do this. I'll just. They might not have one set up, and I did request one because I found the just bring it all
I'll do it. And I'll look for it.
So I use that one.
Well, I mean,
the box itself doesn't take at this point, I just think it's like one table.
Do something later. Our Senate page.
We could put like at the top post a question like, what do you want to change?
Right. I mean, we have all the time.
Would you want it on like policy stuff? Would you want it to be policy based, like what policy changes are happening? Do you want it to be like what's the next thing right now? But for the record, there's the collective.
5 minutes, everybody.
Yeah, no, I like that. So we're gonna have to find something to take out. And it'll be multiple people. Not a little bit, okay, so then we'll do that. Right. Well, I was gonna bring proceedings from my house, but I guess it's what proceedings.
Make a reservation. There you go. Awesome.
Yeah, she's pretty helpful today too.
I'm sending it to Heather so you can check what they have.
I'm gonna dress up. I don't think a lot of people are
So
my whole heart wants to go obviously, I support that. It's really rare.
And so we sort of did the thing in like sort of but you gotta do something about I don't know if I have anybody right off the top of my head. Probably providers or what you want. Yeah, so then if we want to do mix we can so if we have one person, we can try to provide So okay, all right. So let's like think about this. So what's our first? Okay, so changing legislation.
I was just saying, we talked about how to change things.
Yeah. Okay, so we can look into getting somebody who can talk about this one too. Legislative changes. So changes in proposals. So like how to provide. So let's just have this one. So we have like 3 months. Get like one speaker for each one. That's due in the past. Big. It was a 3-hour event, and by the end, all the stuff was there. So we are not going to do
All right, guys, wrap up your conversations. We're going to get back to it. Start talking about some of the business we have in front of us. Okay. All righty. For people to get back into those seats. Cool. The microphone is on. We are recording. We are live from New York. All right, everybody. So the next order of business is the approval of the minutes from the last meeting. Do I hear a motion on the floor?
I make a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, motion passes. Next, we're going to go move on to the President's Report. We finally made the Senate Star Wars board. It's really small. You can't really see stars on there. They're on there. They're there. If your name is not on there, please let us know. If you have, so we give you a star if you volunteered at past events, or if your VPs are also able to give you stars. So your VPs in your committees, respective committees, will give you stars for participating, volunteering, just being awesome. And then there are some stars on there right now. Those are from Welcome Wednesday and Block Party. If you volunteered at Welcome Wednesday and Block Party and do not have a star, don't have as many stars as you think you should have, let us know after the meeting. We'll give you some stars. So just, we're going to keep track of that. We're also going to give away a Superstar Award at the end of the month. So the person who's been the most active, we want to reward people for actually participating and volunteering. And we're debating on what to do about that. We've heard things of a tiny trophy, a little plaque, some fun things like that, maybe even a gift card to something. So yeah, keep participating here in Senate. Another thing that I'm going to be doing is setting up a council of councils. And actually, piece of paper and a pen.
Will, do you still have all of President's email?
Okay.
Can you just forward it to me?
Yes. So we're going to put together a council of councils where all the council presidents are going to be meeting. This is going to start up in January. Also, I just want to reiterate, you will get a star if you report back to your student council what's going on in Senate. Because I'm going to start having more regular communications with the council presidents. If I hear that you were presenting what was going on in Senate at your council meetings, you'll get a star. It's an easy star. So that's something to look forward to. The next order of business, that's all I really have. The next order of business is the treasurer's report. So I'll turn that over to Michael and Jason.
All right, attendance is coming around, so please keep it going even if you already signed it. Shirts, so they are on order. They have not yet arrived. I know they're supposed to be here by today, so we don't have them to pass out. We're gonna figure out when they're supposed to get here, and we're gonna put a rush on it. We're gonna have them by the next time for that shots. So at the beginning of the next meeting, find me. I'll have shirts, and I'll just give it to you then, and we can like throw it on top together. And Finance Committee has small business startup going November 2nd from noon to 1 at 2 North 2104. There's already a flyer out there, so just make sure your classes know first 100 people who show up get pizza. But the class is going to accommodate like 200 plus, so people accommodate.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, so just some unfinished business. Again, Michael mentioned the Senate headshots. That will be the next meeting. That is November 13th. November 13th. So again, mark that on your calendar. That is Monday, November 13th. And what we have a 4-hour block. So that means we have headshots from 4 p.m. till 8 p.m. I highly encourage you to get there early, 4 p.m. If you can get there from 4 to 5:30, get there ahead of time. We're going to let people go throughout the meeting, but we have some amazing speakers for the next meeting. We have Rachel Davis, and Dr. Rachel Davis is the mental health provider here, as well as another psychiatrist from the campus mental health center, or campus health center. So we have that great presentation. So you don't want to miss it. Go early to get your headshot, and there will be some headshot time available after. But please get that done early. Again, headshots are the next meeting, Monday, November 13th. The event planning form link has been updated. I want to give a shout out to Felicia for making an awesome committee event planning form. Has like all the steps. We're probably going to copy that and put that in the other forms. That's awesome. Great job. So everyone, there will be a link to the event planning form, and you can just click on that and fill out all the information that is needed for Heather to approve an event.
Make sure that you're doing it at least 2 weeks in advance for events to be approved.
Yeah. Okay. At least 2 weeks in advance for events to be approved. Some new business. We received an email from the dental school about Veterans Day letters. Felicia, do you have a question?
Yes.
Yeah.
Back to the email being notified. Yes. As long as you put your form staff, I get notified as soon as you submit it, so I can go in, take a look, approve, deny. I'll notify you, and once it's approved, then I also notify Will, so we can do that on our.
In your form, do you have the form stack?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. If the form should say form stack, or the link should say form stack on it, if it's the old Google form, ignore that. She won't get that. So Again, going to the new business, we received from the dental school a link, a hyperlink, which I've sent to Will, and he'll forward to you guys after this meeting. We want you to forward that to your respective schools. The dental school is putting together Veterans Day letters that will be sent to soldiers. And they have a really nice template that explains, what to put on these letters. It's all electronic, and I think it's a great opportunity for students to really make a difference and send our appreciation. So Will send that link after the meeting when he sends out the minutes and things. And then just a heads up, we did update the Senate website. So if if students ask you, hey, where can I learn more information about Senate, things like the calendar, the comment forms, anything like that, you want students to comment and participate in Senate things, the website, the homepage of the website has been updated, and it should have 3 bullet points after the initial block of who we are. The first one is the comment form, the second one is the calendar, and the third one I think is the PDA form. So that's also all updated. If you want to update things any further, let your VPs know. VPs, let Will or myself know. Then, does anybody else have any new business to come before Senate? No? All right. We're going to move on to the next order of business here with the OCSS announcements. And Heather, anything? No? Awesome. Well, yeah. Is there any other business? Anybody have anything? Do any of the other committees want to announce some of their events coming up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, let us know.
All right. We've got a town hall on Wednesday for like any student that wants some pizza. And so we'll be at the Fulgenity, and like any senator can come by and help us out. This is not like something that you have to have legislative committee experience in. We're literally just gonna be asking people to fill out a little like question or comment or whatever they want to say, and then get some pizza for it. So anybody that wants to come by, it'll be from 11 to 2 unless we run out of food, and then maybe it'll be like 11 to 1. I don't know, we'll see. But we'll be at Fulgenity on Wednesday.
You'll get a gold star.
Yeah, you will. Sure will. And probably a slice of pizza, though you got to give us a comment.
What is the time?
11 to 2 on Wednesday. If you come by at 1, we're gone. It's because we ran out of pizza. Which would be wonderful. So that means each of those people gave us a comment.
We've advertised to your schools.
The flyer was sent out, and it's also on the Senate Facebook page.
All right. Any other committees have announcements? Yeah.
You will go by on Tuesday. 7 a.m.
Next Tuesday?
Halloween.
Is there another big one this weekend?
No.
Anybody else? And what time's the bagel bar from?
7 a.m. How many people do you need to help you? We have to, but one of me, so I have.
Star opportunity.
Yeah. Is there anybody that's available to help? Yeah?
Yeah, I'm gonna get that.
Okay. If you guys can all connect with Jessica real quick after we finish.
It was a real win last time. I got to take all the bagels to my class. They were like, I don't know who this guy is because I don't go to lecture, but I brought the bagels. Yeah.
All right. So we have the town hall this Wednesday, bagel bar next Tuesday. We have the small business seminar November 2nd. And what time? It's from noon to 1?
Noon to 1 at 2 North, 2104.
Awesome. Anything else? Any other committees have any events coming up? Yeah.
I'll just mention this one's about a month away, but we have booked a dinner at the Ronald McDonald House where we bring ingredients and we go and we make everybody their dinner. So we're in need of about 8 to 10 volunteers, but we're going to offer it out to the whole student body. So if you guys are interested, let us know. And if you have any ideas on creative dinner options, we've talked about spaghetti and stuff, but I feel like the Ronald McDonald House is a lot of spaghetti, so maybe That is on November 28th, it's a Tuesday in the evening. Like, we'll have more details to around 6 o'clock. Right. 8 to 10.
Great. All right. Last call. Any announcements?
We were waiting on sound to confirm.
Okay. The Dia de los Muertos? Okay. Just be on the lookout. Do you kind of have like a rough date?
Either 9th or 10th of November.
Awesome. So Dia de los Muertos will be on the 9th or 10th of November. And
On the bridge.
on the bridge. Awesome. Cool. All right. Any other business before we break? All right. Do I hear a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion passes. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.